Coming up on Good Morning America, before the magic of Mary Poppins, Julie Andrews' life was anything but magical. She joins us live with the surprising revelations in her brand new memoir. And before the hills were alive with the sound of music, Julie Andrews' life was anything but a song. How she overcame a troubled childhood to become a Hollywood legend. She joins us live to talk about her intimate new memoir. We are so excited to have Miss Julie Andrews here with us. There's just an elegance and grace to her, and she is getting rave reviews for her new memoir, and it has some surprising revelations about her childhood, and we'll talk to her about it.
And coming up, the one and only Julie Andrews, her new memoir, Life Before the Lights, and we talked to her live.
With songs they have for a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
Yes, it's the Julie Andrews the world adores. For the first time, she's writing about her life before she ever dispensed a spoonful of sugar, which she does not like in her tea, by the way. Before the hills were alive with the sound of music, Julie Andrews, you don't know, her autobiography, just out today. It is called Home, a memoir of my early years. And we welcome her back to Good Morning America.
Good morning, Robin.
Everyone is always so cheery when you grace our studio, and singing too,
well,
off-key.
They're all very welcoming and friendly and nice, especially at this
early morning.
Yes.
So you have your tea next to you.
I have my tea right
with your
here.
little milk in it.
I was asked what I like, and that's what it is.
We aim to please. I was reading your book on the train going back and forth to D.C., Washington, D.C. yesterday, and people were clamoring when they saw this.
Aww.
And what struck us most, home there on the cover, and you talk about the importance of that to you.
I'm hoping that the reader might decide for themselves really what home was. Was it home? Was it the theater? Mm-hmm. Was it some core, something that resides within us all? And home means a lot of things to me, but I know it was very important in my youth, really.
You knew that at an early age.
I
love seeing this photo of you, and you see a little scab on you.
Yes.
And the basket.
Yeah,
and
I was
all.
about 12, I guess.
When you were about that age, God Save the King. We saw you. That's when many of us saw you for the first time. I want to play a little bit of you at that age, at age 13. Danny Kaye and others on stage there with you. And you said at that point, your voice, you had an interesting way of describing your voice.
I can't remember what I said.
Something about dogs come running when you would...
Oh, yeah. Well, it was such a high, thin, white sound, and it was incredibly flexible. I mean, I had incredible range, and dogs would, I mean this quite sincerely, howl for miles when I would really go way up high and do my cadenzas and things.
And they would come a-running from the hills.
Yeah.
You're so open in your book in talking about your childhood, because this really deals with the years that we don't know about, a lot of the theater years and your childhood years. And there was a beautiful photo of your family that was in the book I want to put up, and you wrote about, when we saw the photo right here, that it all wasn't what it seemed to be, that behind the scenes it wasn't quite like this. What was it like behind the scenes?
Well, you know, I was what I call a child brat. I was a young performer at a very, very early age, and I traveled and performed with my family. Mm-hmm. And during the time that photograph was taken, a lot of things were going on backstage. My stepfather, in fact, was an alcoholic, and there was a great deal of family fighting and things like that going on. But the real reason for writing the book was that I hoped that I might give a glimpse of what it was like to be performing in those days, in the last dying days of vaudeville, a tiny piece of theater history that perhaps not too many people know about.
What should we know about? What do you want us to know about that time?
I really want to... Moss Hart wrote a wonderful biography called Act One, and it gave me a glimpse of what Broadway was like in the early days, and I knew nothing about it, and I was fascinated to read his book, and he wrote so beautifully. And it gave me hope that maybe if I wrote about those dying days of vaudeville, what it was like to tour around England endlessly, to go into the theatres, what the theatres were like, what the people were like that I worked with. I thought that maybe it's a part of history that not too many people know about.
And it is for people to know about, and also to know how difficult it was in your childhood to get there, to do that.
Well, I was on my own quite a lot. And sometimes I had a tutor who traveled with me for schooling and things like that. But really, after the age of 15, I was on my own and out there belting out my high arias.
My Fair Lady on Broadway.
Yes.
And we have another clip because we love to show these things. The Ed Sullivan Show, and this, I believe, is the only record of you
Yes, there is
performing.
no record of my doing it, and I'm so grateful that something like Ed Sullivan captured just a moment.
Well, let's take a look at it.
I only know when he began to dance with me. I could have done.
You make us want to stand up and clap here
Thank you,
hearing,
Robin.
and
Thank
hearing
you.
that. Now you've written children's books, and you have a lot more that's going on in your life right now.
My daughter and I have a small publishing collection of books, and we've just signed with Little Brown for Children books, and two of our books are being developed for for children's theatre and family theatre, and I'll be going out this summer to the Hollywood Bowl and to Atlanta and Philadelphia, and doing a lovely symphonic concert that features one of our books and has been turned into a musical tale.
Oh, we will look forward to that.
Yeah.
And thank you. You grace us with your presence
Thank
every
you,
time.
Robin. It's a pleasure to see you
You
again.
can go online and read a portion of the book. We'll be right back.